Hey everyone, I'm Jenna.
I'm Clint, and welcome to the Enchanted Parks and Ports podcast,
where we chat Disney, Universal Cruise Lines, and beyond. Hello, Enchanted Parks and Ports podcast, and welcome back to more rambling with Jenna and Clint about our recent land and sea adventure aboard the Disney Fantasy. Today we're talking last half of my family's trip. So focusing mostly on cruise and then a couple days at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. And yeah, this was an incredible trip and I'm so excited to share more about it. But hi, how are you, Clint?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited. I'm as equally excited about this half of our kind of split trip report episode as I was on the other, because on the previous podcast, there were some surprises that kind of came up in your trip. But I know the surprises aren't done yet.
No, because it's essentially, and I kept saying this when our Walt Disney World trip portion ended, I said, okay, now we get to go on vacation, because it's like a whole other trip, a whole other vacation. It is essentially two trips in one, right? So that was an interesting dynamic to almost halfway through be like, oh, and now we're starting something new.
It is. And I think that's the beauty of kind of this split style of parks and cruise is you get all of Disney in the span of, 10, 12, whatever days it is, right? Because you get the excitement, magic, thrills, all the stuff in the park, and then you get everything from a character standpoint, a relaxation standpoint, a water, pools, kind of all the stuff that is a cruise.
Yes. Exactly. And like just different pace, different energy, different vibe, and different ship for us than we've been on. So also like new learning about this ship and this class of ships too. So that's been super fun. But we have some news first.
We do have some news first. And I think we've got to, with the kind of start of Cool Kids Summer, which is pretty close to when this episode's going to air, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be in full swing. And there's a very, very popular kind of evolution that's happening at Conservation Station at Animal Kingdom that I know is going to be, I know it's going to be crazy, but apparently Disney knows it's going to be crazy because they're giving us something, and it's something we haven't seen in a while at Walt Disney World. Yeah. So Jenna, why don't you share with our listeners what's coming and what they need to be prepared for?
So it is virtual queue to go play with Bluey and Bingo at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So this is an important thing for families to know because it's not totally intuitive, right? You have to know how to get that virtual queue, how to get into that virtual queue, what time the drops are so you're ready to grab them, where you have to be in order to make those drops happen. The 7 a.m. drop, you can be outside of the park, you can be anywhere. Is it 2 p.m. the second drop?
Actually, I think there's a 2 p.m. plus one more. I think there's actually multiple drops for this thing because they want to, I think they're going to have to work hard to control the crowds, right? So from that standpoint, I think that they're doing multiple smaller drops instead of just the two big drops that we're traditionally used to. But again, I think as this thing evolves, people are going to have to pay attention to the app, as you said, to know exactly when they're going to be trying to seek this outcome for their family.
Yeah, and it is one of those, because this is meant to be more interactive, they do need to manage crowds. And it's also like a bit of a trip away from main action at that park. So it makes sense to me we're going virtual queue to start just while we get a sense of demand and a sense of how this thing flows, right? So keep that in mind. There's lots of other stuff happening with Cool Kids Summer. I cannot believe how much they're launching at once. Right? So
it's an incredible amount that they're launching at once. You're getting the release, as we talked about in the last episode, similar time frame, the new Mando and Grogu. You're getting Rock and Roller Coasters opening back up. You get all the things that are really coming to bear with this celebration that is Cool Kids Summer. And I think Disney has been a little bit relaxed with Cool Kids Summer as a concept in years past. I think they're finding that this can be that thing, kind of like an Epcot festival,
right?
That brings people to the park.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think they've found the value of it and are working to much more maximize its impact on enticing people to visit.
Oh, absolutely. And even the free water park day on arrival comes back, right? So that's a big thing for lots of people wanting to take advantage of that, especially in the hot summer months.
Yeah, for sure. And so then jumping out to the West Coast, again, kind of staying in this theme of Disney trying to entice people to come to their parks, is Disneyland has released an up to 15% discount for staying on property at Disneyland. There's three major resorts there. You get Pixar, you get Disneyland Hotel, and Grand Cal. Those are all options. Wonderful. So, if you're thinking a West Coast trip, you're looking at it. This is just another layer of Disney trying to make it financially appealing for you to be able to do that. So,
Yeah.
check it out. If you want help planning a trip, we'd love to do that for you. So, hit us up. We leave our information in the show notes every time. So, let's see what might happen with Disneyland and a chance to stay on property. It's a much smaller bubble. It's a deluxe bubble.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be had out there.
And I like how small the bubble is. It's like a walking bubble, my friends. This is different than a bubble that is also the size of what I heard on this trip. One of the bus drivers was saying Walt Disney World is the size of, is it San Diego?
It could be. I know it's the total property is the size of the island of Manhattan.
Right. So like big bubble,
Big bubble.
different vibe. But yes.
Yep.
Okay, shall we head to the cruise?
Yes, so in our last episode, you took the opportunity to bring us through your park days all the way up to making the transition onto the Fantasy to Embarkation Day.
Yeah.
We left it as you and Lucas are hanging out on your veranda
Yeah.
post dinner. You did Animator's Palette, spent some time with Crush. You had a chance to see the Aladdin show. The girls are completely sacked out because that
They're
Embarkation
done.
Day is a big day. So
Yeah.
at some point, you and Lucas crash out, and we
Also,
wake up day 2
yeah. And
on the Disney Fantasy.
so historically on cruises, I have gotten quiet sunrise coffee because everyone is so tired that they're passed out.
Yeah.
Abby is in a new era of girl has things to do on a boat. Like the excitement level is just so high now that I think her understanding is even greater. That no, she was up early. Like we're talking, we set the coffee delivery, room service delivery. If people don't know what I'm talking about, there's a little tag you can set outside your door. You can set the time. Thought 7 a.m. was generous. No, Abs was up, ready to go by 6:30. And like, what can we go do? So anyway, her and I ended up going for a walk
Okay.
first thing in the morning because also like, do you want to wake up the baby and tick off the baby, or like this is the dynamic of a smaller stateroom too, right? Compared to if you had a whole cottage or something, then you hang around. But we went for a walk, and honestly, some of the best moments too were like the one-on-one moments you get with your kids on a cruise, which is really interesting to me because this is my first time cruising with two kids. But because Abby would sometimes want to go to kids club, we'd have these one-on-one moments with Quinny. And because Abby would get up earlier than Quinny, we'd have these one-on-one moments with Abby. So it was a really nice actual dynamic to do some of these like one-on-one moments with them. So we loved in early morning, we would both go to Vista Cafe and rope drop the specialty coffees together. Abby loves a like steamed milk with a character on it. So,
There you go.
we got all of our little mom and girl time. I'm like my poor budget when this girl hits coffee territory, and Quinn does too, because like the coffee budget is going to be $100 a day. But we went and kind of opened our mornings that way and talked about our day, and it was just so lovely. So that was really fun. I met one of my favorite YouTubers
Oh,
on
really?
our boat. She was on our sailing with a Patreon cruise. So Jen LaForge, I don't know if you've ever watched her content, but love her. And she was absolutely lovely to Abby. And Abby, she's never met someone who's not her friend, so she had lots to say. So it was kind of cool to, see someone who's inspired a lot of like Disney travel for me actually be there on your sailing and get to chat with them. So that was kind of, you never know who you're going to see on these boats.
No, and it's worth paying attention because the surprises do happen.
Totally. They totally do. And we had a big thing on day two. So day two is Nassau Day. Nassau Day
Okay.
for us is second sea day. Less busy sea day. That's how we see it.
Yeah, let everybody else get off the boat. You guys have been there before, so while it's a lower crowd day on the ship, you chose to do what?
We chose to try and book Bippity Boppity and Royal Gathering with the
Yep.
concept of I really wanted to get them back to back. And I wanted to get them early enough in the sailing that we weren't obsessed with water slides and pools and splash pads yet. So we could ride out like a little bit of princess look. And I was able to get 9 a.m. Bippity Boppity Boutique and then 9:45 Royal Gathering. I was a little worried about how tight that was, but for people who do it, I think 45 minutes is as tight as you can go, but you can make it happen in 45.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it feels a little bit more rushed, but sometimes you don't have any other choice.
And like as silver members, we had options for Bippity Boppity Boutique, but not a full slate of options, right? And with Royal Gathering, it doesn't matter your status. You're
No.
getting what you get, and it's a different day than your Bippity Boppity Boutique. So you're booking your Bippity Boppity Boutique with a bit of a let's see what time we get for Royal Gathering. I had hoped for like a 10:30 or something. But those were all gone, even though I was on at midnight trying to get it. So we ended up getting 9:45, which was fine. It worked out time wise. And if she loves Cinderella's Royal Table, ooh, she really loved Bippity Boppity. Like she was just feeling so special, so magical. She kept trying to like peek behind her in the mirror, like see her
Yeah.
makeover come to be. Rode out that hair. I will say that hair lasted in the pool for like up to our lookout day. So
Really?
yeah, I did have to do a couple touch-up-y things, but she rode that Princess Bun out for like 2 days of cruise.
Okay, so you're feeling like you got your money's worth.
I feel like I got my value. She got her princess moment as a princess at Royal Gathering, and then, the hair doesn't immediately come out. She wants to keep it in as she plays in the splash pad. Great, she can be a princess playing in the splash pad. So then that day we hit kind of pools, water slide. Abby was about, I don't know, an eighth of an inch too short for the aqueduct.
Oh,
So, and it's one of
yep,
those, it's a water slide, like shoes can't even save you, right? Like you're barefoot.
yep.
Yeah, so she was a little bit too short, which is fine for our family, right? Because this is something where we have another sailing booked in December. So it's oh, that'll be so fun to do at our
Yep.
Christmas cruise, right? And also, height requirements are how we get Abby to eat things. So we will say, oh, we got to eat all our veggies. So by December, you can do that. You can do the aqueduct because so far we've been using Tiana's, and now she's well over 40 inches. So she did.
Because for your December sailing, which boat are you on?
We're on the Dream, so it will still
Oh, the
be
sister
aqueduct.
ship.
Yeah, so it's still like the same slide, right? So we're comparing it that way. But yeah, but she did do the Mickey slide, which is the yellow slide there on repeat. She
Yeah.
loved that. And that was super fun for us. Like Lucas and I sat at the bottom of the slide so we could see her coming out and going in with our coffees. Quinn's asleep on my chest. We're watching, Lion King Funnel Vision and Abby going down the slide and catching up with each other. Like this is the pace of Disney magic that I really appreciate.
Yeah, this is the one you prefer, right? Like from a Disney speed standpoint, we're definitely on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yes. Clint is like, I had a blast with you at Walt Disney World, and I'm surprised you didn't like at some point bail on me because I'm like taking a picture of flowers, and Clint is like, we have 3 minutes to get in line for something. So I slowed you down a little bit, but I think in a good way, and you sped me up on the nights I probably would have gone to bed. So it was great. And this was a nice like Yeah, it was like a soak it in, we're here moment as she does the slide. This is new for her. She's never done like the big slides
Yeah.
on cruise ships. She's only ever done the splash pad stuff. So again, we're just scaling what our cruise looks like. Because like I said, you never bring the same kid on a cruise twice. Even if they're your kid. It's different child than I brought who did the splash pad slide on repeat, right? So it is different, and she could use the pools this time. So
Yeah.
it was big. That's a big, like 3-year-old cruise marker.
So you kind of did the early morning
Yep.
thing into princess phase,
Yep.
into pool time, but I know that Abby probably also had some other things on her list of the we have to do's because we know she's a big character girl.
She is. And this is why you never bring the same kid on a cruise twice. Because if she had to pick this cruise, she was going to the pool.
Really?
And with the exception of Pirate Night, because she gets real into that storyline and she like has to warn Mickey that she saw Captain Hook.
Yeah.
And tell one of Mickey's friends that Captain Hook is on the boat and like we have to do something. Like she gets real into Pirate Night storyline. So we did meet a bunch of characters Pirate Night. Um,
Okay.
and we met princesses at the Royal Gathering. But besides that, we did not meet characters on this sailing.
That completely surprises me. Just there's no way I would have predicted that pre-cruise.
Neither would I. And I don't know if it's also because she got like a good character fill at the parks, or it's like I've never been able to go in the pool. I've never been able to go to Oceaneers Club. The other thing she got really into this cruise was crafts. Like she really wanted to make like
Okay.
family bracelets at the D Lounge. And like really into like the cruise activities too. So she also we love musical theater stuffs.
Yes.
So Abby said before this cruise, I'm going to do karaoke.
Oh, that's too cool.
Amazing. Love that for you. We're thinking like you and dad are going to do karaoke, right? So they've been practicing their song at home. They've been like, he's into it with her. They're great little buddies. We go to family karaoke. We sit down. Oh, time to sign up. Okay, great. Abby looks at Lucas and says, I'm going to do it by myself. And Lucas is like,
Wow, she kicked dad to the curb.
he's like, there's like, first of all, you're 4. You don't know how to read, my love. Like, what's the plan if we get nervous and forget the words? And like, she hasn't practiced singing without, Elsa in the background.
Yeah.
So we're a bit like, how, are you sure? And she's like, yep, I'm good. And again, it's one of those like, do we just see how this goes? Like,
Sure.
I guess. So we said to her, well, let's come up with a symbol. And if you are feeling nervous, you can just do one of these like little come here actions.
And dad'll be there to save the day.
Dad'll hop up on stage. We're good. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, sure. You don't have, I just want you to know that's available. Okay, I won't need it. I'm like, great. Lucas and I look at each other. We're like, she's for sure gonna need you to pop up. Like, I'll hold the baby. You're ready to jump up on stage. That's the vibe, right? Well, don't they call Abby first? So somehow she must have signed up first.
Okay.
So she goes up. There's at least like, I don't know, 20 people here. Like, it's not like a zero crowd. She goes up. They hand her a mic. She sings Into the Unknown.
Wow.
Just by herself on stage. At one point, she like fumbles on the words a bit, and I'm like, do you want dad to come? And she looks at me and shakes her head like, excuse you, I said no. And I was like,
That's so good.
got it? Got it. And so she sang the whole song at karaoke. And I think like this is an interesting cruise moment for us because it's like potentially the start of her performer life for us as a family.
Yeah.
Like, we're always going to remember this sailing where she just all of a sudden became brave enough to be like, I got it. It was amazing.
Well, and what I love about that, though, is you did the prep work on the front end that gave the courage to be able to do this thing by herself.
Yeah.
And I think at the same time, these are those spaces where, families can think about vacations, again, to your point, and I love this piece of you never take take the same kid on vacation twice, right? Where future forward, she will probably have the courage to take these risks. I mean, she's not ever been lacking for that anyway.
No.
But it's just one of those things that it is a marker on the wall
Yeah.
of, wow, this is now possible. I love that. I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah. You better believe I was videoing this. So
I
I'll
need
have
to
to
see said
send
video.
it. And it was just so sweet how confident she was and that she just went up. And of course, everyone's cheering her on. And she, like, at the end hit some bigger notes because people were cheering and you could tell it was like building the anticipation. It's like in sports land, it's like when everyone cheers and then you hit a home run.
Yes.
She was getting that energy, right? Um, so it was just so fun to do different things on a cruise than we have done in past times because we also you can flow a bit easier. You can just follow her lead. At Walt Disney World, sometimes we have a lightning lane and a dining reservation, and you kind of got to do
Yeah.
what mom is saying. You know what I mean? But on the cruise, if we can be like, do you want to go to karaoke or do you want to meet Mickey? And we had different choices this time.
So across your cruise days, like you're
Yeah.
because we're treating Nassau as onboard ship part 2 day,
Yeah.
right? But as you thought about that, what was your move for midday food? Like
Yeah.
how did that work? I know that again, the Wish class ships which you've been on are so incredibly well known
Yeah.
for Donald's Cantina and Mickey's Smokehouse and all the
Yeah.
things. Kind of what did you seem to do for your midday meals?
Midday meal was quick service by the pool deck. The Flo's Cafe, which is the kind of equivalent on the Dream class of Mickey's Festival of Foods. Ramon's Cantina, amazing. Very similar. And Abby can get her chicken tendies and we can carry on. So that was our common play. This time around was going to kind of the quick service on board. We again are just buffets just don't work for our family yet. The only time we do a buffet on a sailing is debarkation day because we don't
Yeah.
want to get up at 6:45 to go to the early breakfast. So we leave our room as late as we can, which is 8 a.m. and head to get buffet food then. That was the only time we went in cabanas.
Well, and I think what I love about that is, again, you didn't have to interrupt what was a high priority for Abby is those quick service stations are on the pool deck. They're right there
Amazing.
available. Again, I'm sure it was Lucas's job. It's like, hey, Luke, go get lunch, right? And he
Yeah.
was able to take care of things, bring it back, all of that kind of stuff. And then you guys, so it sounds like a big portion of at least that part of your Nassau day was we're just doing the pool thing.
We're doing the pool thing. Originally we were doing the cruise activity thing because we were riding out the I'm a Princess for a bit. Then we do the pool thing. And then all of a sudden it's time to get ready for dinner, right? Because 5:45 dining, I will say, when you back that up to like, I want to maybe be in the area around 5:30, 5:40. Well, I got to start getting these children ready by like 5 o'clock
Yeah.
minimum, probably earlier if they need showers. So it just backs your day up a little bit like that, right?
Sure, absolutely. And so you guys roll in. What did you have on second night for rotational dining?
We had Enchanted Garden, which, oh my goodness, that fish, I don't know what it is. Someone comment because I forgot the name. It was one of the best things I have eaten, period. Like,
Wow.
including Palo. Okay, I know Palo is better food across the board, but that one bite of whatever that main fish is, incredible. So good. So I don't sleep on Enchanted Garden. I know this was one that you said you skipped on your fantasy sailing.
Well,
And,
we ended up having it on the night that we had our Palo reservation,
and so what
and
do you
it
do?
wasn't our double up, so we kind of had made a mistake on that side of it. We ended up doing it like on debarkation day for
Yeah.
breakfast, and I just love the ambiance.
Oh,
Like this
it's
place
lovely.
is cool.
It's lovely. And there's something about like a May sailing too, the springtime vibes that just I love. So yeah, really liked the space. And there were some good kind of individual eats at this restaurant too.
Was it a similar family play in that you started dinner and then Abby went to Oceaneers Club and then you did show? I mean, was that a similar dynamic to your embarkation day?
So Abby had not napped this day, and she's at that awkward half nap stage, where it's like you get to pick. You can have a nap, and then she's up till 11 p.m., which would have been fine.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Would have been great, but she didn't want to nap. So halfway through dinner, girl is tapping out. Like she is just tired this day. Like Oceaneers Club, we're not sure it's gonna go great. Lucas says, you know what? I'm okay just taking her back to the room and just having some downtime. And also because like, you want your kids, you want to invest in the next day with Lookout.
Yep.
And we were like, we really would like her functioning to early go to Lookout, right? Quinn, not a big deal. She's pretty much an accessory. She's living in the carrier on this cruise. She's sleeping when she sleeps. She's waking up, interacting with servers when she interacts. It's great. Abs was just tired. So Luke said, you know what? I'm going to head back to the room. Watched the show, which was Believe that night, on the TV in the room because they do live stream it.
They do? I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is lovely because for this scenario, you can watch Believe from the room and we could still talk about it afterwards. Because I was like, I am going to the show.
Because it's incredible. Sometimes people don't give the compilation shows. We've said this on previous episodes. They don't give the compilation shows the justice they deserve because they are brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Also, you've seen that show. I am on a birthday sailing with my daughter. I was unwell after that show. Like there were tears.
Sure.
Things were not looking good in like the best way possible because that show was amazing. But just the sentimentality of that really hit. Really hit. So that one, like, bring the tissues, my friends, because like the impact of the message of that show when you're on a cruise with your child on their birthday, good luck. Good luck.
No, it is so good. I mean, our listeners know that I'm a Frozen guy, and that one's going to always be at the top. But ranking the three, Believe is right there as a 1A.
So good. I was pleasantly impressed, and also there is a lot. I think that show is for the parents.
Yeah, it really is.
Because I think the messaging, but also the storylines. Like you have Mary Poppins, you have like classic Lion King, you have some of these even Aladdin, really, these shows that are more like last generation Disney, right? So I think it's if Abby were to miss a show, I'm actually glad she missed that one, but I wouldn't want to miss it as a parent.
No, I think it was great. And I'm glad Luke at least got to have it as the live stream side.
Yeah.
Now, so with that's an interesting dynamic because you've got this split family kind of going on.
Yeah.
So what happened after the show? I mean, because I know in previous sailings, one of the things that you have enjoyed are some adult moments with the other generation that is on board with you. So what did that look like from a chance of, you got mom and dad with you. So
yeah. Well, so they also were tired after the parks. So they were going to bed early too. So there wasn't like the dynamic of, we're going to drop ads off at Kids Club because she's tired, they're tired. Like there is again, different sailings have different vibes. And there was Abby kind of expiring at certain times of nights and needing someone to be in the room. The one night we did have Grandma and Grandpa stay with the girls, and Lucas and I went out to catch some piano music at Ooh La La, which is like, oh my gosh, the theming of the fantasy adult spaces, incredible. Like, love the immersive Europe vibes. Lucas and I both said we preferred Ooh La La to Nightingales. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, just the atmosphere is set up in almost a more community way. I don't know how to describe it, but it was just, really nice. So we did do that one night, but a lot of the nights it was we're turning in early or we're hanging out on the veranda. I'm really glad we got a veranda because it gives that kind of adult space afterwards. Just with how she kind of like got tired early this time and needed someone to be there, right? So that was just the dynamic of this one.
So then you're rolling into day three,
Yeah.
which the big event day three happens in the evening. We know that that's going to be pirate night,
Yes.
but also on this one, you have a another specialty event at Palo,
Yep.
right?
And lookout.
Yeah, and you've got lookout during the day. So this is a packed day.
This is a packed day. And we hit lookout early, which I'm glad we did because she gets hot. Like, lookout is not a ton of shade yet, which is okay, but prepare for it, right? Like, prepare for that accordingly.
Yeah.
We did catch a spot on the beach with some shade from an umbrella. It wasn't our umbrella, but our neighbor's umbrella provided shade to us, sitting behind them actually from the sun in the morning. And so we had a great time. Early morning beach, like we were down there 8:30. We
Yep.
played until lunchtime, had lunch, and we headed back to the boat. There was so much in my head that we were going to do on Lookout, like the splash pad, Junkanoo, all of these
Yes.
cool celebrations. But we knew we had this big night, and we knew that Abby needed to rest in the afternoon if she was going to make it to things like Pirate Night, hold it together while we're at Palo, see the fireworks. Like you do have to pick sometimes. And it's
Yes.
hard as a parent because if I was on an adult only sailing, I would do like all the things. And I want to really prioritize doing the things that we want to do to the fullest. It really did feel like a bit more of a parks having to do a midday break
Yep.
twice for this trip. So we absolutely loved Lookout. We got a super calm day. We swam in the ocean. We played as a family. Quinn swam in the ocean, laughing her head off. She loves water. So that was awesome because she can't swim on the boat, right? So this
Yeah.
was her chance to like really float around, have the best time. Um, and then yeah, we had a break. We did hire
What it before we leave
Yeah.
lookout.
Yes.
What is your perception lookout versus castaway? Now that you've been to both.
Yeah, so I think they're different experiences and I like them both. I think with kids this age, probably Castaway is my preference. In a couple years, Lookout might take the edge. What I will say is, man, the kids club on Lookout, no comparison. They do lunch.
Yeah.
They have an amazing splash pad. Abby wanted to stay longer at the kids club because she did go there briefly after lunch, before we decided to head back, and she had an absolute blast. So I do think the kids club definitely has the edge on Lookout. I just think they're different experiences. But I probably with baby or kid, if you're not prioritizing splash pad, then I would say Castaway. Just the ease of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a much more complex journey getting to the amenities on Lookout, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so you've got a bit of a walk, and then you've got a tram, and then
Yeah.
finally you got to navigate to the beach. I mean, so I wondered about that just with a multi-generational trip like you had.
Yeah.
Uh,
My
which
mom
would
did.
be.
Yeah, my mom did use the mobility transfers, which were fine, but like just separates our party a little bit. We probably could have gone with her, but we wanted to be out there right away. And the transfers kind of started at a particular time and could take a bit of a wait.
Yeah.
The wagons were abundant. I will say that. Originally, there was some reviews around not enough wagons. That is not the case anymore. They were abundant both ends, both times when we were going out at peak kind of times, both sides. One thing we did notice is the wagons get real hot when they're sitting in the sun.
Yep.
So we brought an extra towel to sit in the wagons, which is good to know because you don't actually get your towels until the other side of the pier.
Correct. Yep.
And then you return them on that side of the pier. So you have to bring something yourself if you're trying to make a seat for your kiddo so their butt doesn't burn.
Yep.
So
No
keep that
doubt.
in mind.
And being a Disney veteran, you probably knew to bring your sand toys, all of those kinds
All
of
the
things,
things.
right?
Yeah.
You had the packing list sorted out because again, you hit the end of that pier, you've got a gift shop, all the things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for families who don't, the I wants get really high right there if you're not prepared to say, nope, we've already got our stuff.
We've got our stuff, we're carrying on, right? And we really enjoyed the beach. It was just so much fun to just play together. We enjoyed the lunch, the spicy chicken sandwich. Not bad. Banana soft serve on the island. We met Mickey on the island. Yeah, it was just a really fun day. And we also felt okay to be like, at 1 o'clock, we're good to take a rest because we had this blast of a beach day. We didn't want to push it when people were getting hot to
Yeah.
be like, we have to make the most of it because we have to make the most of it. It's like, well, then that's no longer making the most of it.
Well, and I think though there's still a lot available back on the ship, right? You don't feel
Totally.
like you're losing out by
Yeah.
not staying on the island. You
Yeah.
still have an incredible wealth of things that you can go and experience on the ship if you want to. Now, the crew members aren't there kind of in the same way,
Yeah.
right? It's a little more quiet from that standpoint because they're manning the island.
Yeah. But it was fine because there's also less people to be managed on the
Yep.
boat, right? And we went back, we had a little rest. Lucas and Quinn went out somewhere. They went to do some kind of activity while we were snoozing. So also don't be afraid. We've talked about this at the parks, but on the boat too, don't be afraid to split the family sometimes.
Yeah.
If you have two different things you want to do, that's just a reality. We enjoyed a little rest and then pirate night began and Abby gets real into the story of pirate night that Captain Hook has come on the boat. And it is her personal duty to warn Mickey and friends. So she becomes very passionate about waiting in line for characters to
Yeah.
talk to them. I will say the fantasy certainly had the edge from the Wish on characters available on Pirate Night. They had Jack Sparrow meeting, they had Pirate Stitch meeting. There was all kinds of friends out and about. And she was very happy to connect with all of them to let them know that Captain Hook was around. Did you want to meet Captain Hook? Absolutely not.
No, not her guy, huh?
Not her guy, but she was going to tell everyone else he was around.
Yeah.
So that I do love how into that story she gets. And this was the first time she understood the concept of the deck party too. Like
Yep.
we have a challenge here. We have to win the challenge. We have to do the things. And she was doing them along and it was fun to see, right? So she really liked that. She loves when we dress up as a family. So that was fun. And yeah, we just had this like fun little pirate moment. And then the one thing about Pirate Night too that I didn't really clock earlier because it wasn't relevant was how many pirate themed things there are happening in Kids Club. So there's a lot of like pirate scavenger hunt, learn to be a pirate. I don't know, something with Captain Hook, XYZ in the kids club. There was a dance party with Pirate Donald, whatever it is. So she actually quite enjoyed going to kids club on Pirate Night, building off this story while we
Sure.
went to Palo. So that was awesome.
Okay, so yeah, speaking of that, how did the timing work? Because again, we have Palo reservation on Pirate Night.
Yes.
You have this dynamic, and I'm playing with my adult kids, where my daughter Taylor, who's very image forward, wants to both dress up fancy,
Yes.
but then also wants to dress up for Pirate Night,
Yes.
and it's like I'm not sure how these dynamics are going to work.
They're going to work with a quick change and people have to know that that's the expectation, right? So
Okay,
we had Pirate Night initial party was 7:30 p.m. We had our Palo reservation at was it 8:15? We had like 15 minutes
okay,
to drop off kiddo, change outfit, go to Palo.
all right,
Like it's not a we're spending a ton of time on pirate makeup versus Palo makeup. It's a we change outfits and it's time for Palo situation.
sure, okay,
But then again, if you want to catch the fireworks, they're closer to 10 o'clock. So now you
yep,
have this on the other end. So we had this amazing dinner at Palo. It was incredible. Souffle instead of birthday cake every time because it was my birthday. That's the other
It was
thing,
your birthday.
which was amazing. So we celebrated there with my parents, which was lovely. And then we're noticing the time, and it's getting awfully close to 10:15, which is when the fireworks are. And Abs is pretty set on the fireworks. She had a nap to watch the fireworks. That was the plan, right? Um, and so Lucas is kind of watching the time, and he says to our server, when are the fireworks exactly? And he says, well, the show starts at 10:15. The fireworks are between, I forget exactly what he said, but something like between 10:28 and 10:32. Like they have this down, you know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yep.
And he was like, okay, I think I'm gonna slide out to go get Abs from Kids Club. So we're ready in time because we were just finishing up dessert. So dad went to save the day to make fireworks happen, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And she saw fireworks. We had this beautiful kind of moment of getting to do that together as a family. This was a first for us because past cruises, she hasn't been around for fireworks. She's either been playing in nursery or sleeping at that time with the way we've organized past cruises. So this was just another first for us, and definitely not parks fireworks, but pretty cool to get to do that at sea.
Yeah, that is incredible to kind of, again, you're not taking the same kid twice on whatever
Yeah.
experience you're doing. I just love that so much. And so again, a little bit later night this night,
Yeah.
and knowing what the day after is your last day at sea, and then you're into debarkation.
Exactly. And last day at sea, same, more of the same, right? We don't have to go through every detail, but the same spirit of cruise activities, pool, splash pad, all that fun stuff. But there is news. There's news afoot with the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy, which may have reached you and may not have. If I were to say fried brie, you'd be thinking of Royal Court. This is an exciting thing, probably.
Yeah, it is.
She's gone. They've changed the menus.
And why does Disney do this? Like, leave the stuff that people like. If it's making social media, leave it on the list.
I will say, I thought the burrata replacement was quite decent. But it's not fried brie. I was so excited to try the fried brie, but it changed. And this actually was the sailing it changed on.
Oh wow!
So I was like, oh, isn't there fried brie? And our server was like, actually, as of today, there is not. And I was
So
just,
the question was there fried brie on other nights?
I think he said as of this sailing.
This sailing. Okay, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Then you really got you.
Did we really? No. So it was as of this sailing. So anyway, there were a couple menu changes. There were a couple different things. But that was the only one I noticed because I was looking out for that. Uh,
Sure.
Still enjoyed the food at Royal Court. It was great. What a beautiful restaurant. The service team, what beautiful outfits. Like Abby felt like
Yeah,
really,
it's wonderful. That was our first night when we were on the fantasy.
oh,
So
amazing. So I really did enjoy eating in that restaurant regardless. But yeah, some menu changes that we kind of watched. And Frozen, what an incredible show.
yeah, it's still the clear winner on the ship for me. I
Yeah,
mean, I I just can't. And I'm looking forward to at some point getting back on a ship to see that show,
yeah,
right? So before we get into obviously debarkation, pretty
yeah,
straightforward. I mean, you mentioned getting eight o'clock and kind of buffeting it, cruising
yeah.
off the ship. Now you're headed back to Orlando. But before we leave the fantasy completely,
Hmm.
you mentioned in the last episode that you were like wondering about the quality of the ship that the fantasy brings.
Yeah,
So it is kind of thought of well in circles, but it is also a little bit of an older ship.
yeah.
So as you reflect back now, what are your thoughts on the fantasy just as an overall ship, an overall boat, and where do you place it in your list of kind of favorites?
Well, let's just say I quoted someone on Disney Cruise Line yesterday, and I quoted them three fantasy options.
Okay.
So I think that tells you something, right? But I prefer like Fantasy might be one of my new top ships. I don't know. The Treasure has something special to offer for people who are parks nostalgic.
Yeah.
That is really different. Um, but the Fantasy is so good. I just love the ship design. I love the layout. There's something about like the energy of the ship that's a bit different too, in the way that people move through the ship and interact with each other. I love that element. The Mickey slide is super fun. The way that that's laid out with chairs at the bottom makes a lot of sense to me compared to the Slidosaurus Rex on the Wish class ship. So there's just like little design details that might have the edge for me. The only thing that I will prefer on Wish class ships, like hands down, is the staterooms.
Yeah, the theming in the staterooms, there's no contest.
There's no
But
contest, and the storage is much better.
yeah.
So they figured that kind of out. But the ship itself really loved the Fantasy and will for sure be back.
Well, and I just think again, I don't know how much time you got to spend in the adult only space.
Oh,
That is
gorgeous.
what this ship is known for.
Yeah.
Is the dream and the fantasy excel when you're in that space of I want to be in an adult space and not have to, be in and around the
Yeah.
hustle and bustle that the kids bring.
Yes. Yeah, we did get to spend one afternoon at Satellite Falls. Incredible. Like I love the way you can sit there and the water, like have your feet in the water but not be fully submerged. Like they just think about how adults actually want to pool,
Yes.
which I really appreciated. So yeah, loved this ship. I had a birth on my birthday morning. I went to Cove Cafe by myself
Oh, there you go.
and I sat in Cove Cafe quietly and had my coffee and it was wonderful. So yeah, like this ship just it surprised me how passionate I am about the Fantasy now.
Yeah, and it's one, we've done trip reports in the past, we've done ship overviews, all
Yeah.
the things, and it is one of our most listened to episodes anytime the fantasy is in play. So, all right, so now we're working on getting off the ship. We're headed back to Orlando. I'm guessing private transportation again through Gear Fusion. You probably did the round trip thing.
Yeah, exactly. And they were waiting, ready to go when we got off the ship. The timing worked great. And we were headed to Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge for a resort view room that somehow became a Savannah View club level room when we got there and asked about upgrades.
Yeah, so let's talk through that process because this is extending the luxuriation that
Yeah.
you had on the cruise into the last day or so of your overall vacation, where then you've got to climb on a plane and go back to Canada.
Yeah.
So explain how that process happened, because I think we have listeners who may not even know that this is something you can inquire about, and then
Yeah.
kind of how you processed through that.
Yeah, so you can ask when you check in if there's any upgrades available, whether that be you want to upgrade to a Savannah View or you want to upgrade to club level or whatever it is. We kind of were thinking, wouldn't it be nice? Because we have two full resort days. Our flight is so much later in the evening the next day that we have two full days. Wouldn't it be nice to have the club lounge specifically after we check out of our room?
Yeah.
So we have a place that's a bit quieter inside to kind of home base. I'm nursing Quinn still, so like having kind of a space away sounded nice. Having knowing how much like our food and drinks were gonna cost for those 2 days, having kind of the ability to say yes after you get off a cruise ship with your kid and they're used to a like unlimited ice cream. It's kind of nice to have the ability to continue unlimited ice cream until you go home. You know what I mean? So we just thought we'd throw it out there. We had a number in our head that we said if it's above this number, it's a no. If it's below this number, it's a yes. And it was $100 below that number.
Oh, wow.
So we
And is the upgrade typically on a per night basis?
yes. Yes.
Yes.
And so this also remembering that we only had one night. We had 2 days, but one night. So that also increases the chances of availability of options,
Yep.
right? So, and also the decreases the cost because if we're upgrading that much per night,
Yep.
On a 7 night, that would have been quite the upgrade. But on a 1 night, 2 days at the resort, it starts to get quite reasonable for us to justify in our Disney math world. So that was great. We loved, loved, loved having that access. The club level staff were incredible to abs. She had a popsicle at Animal Kingdom that she realized they had in the club level lounge. And so she called them Lion Kingdom popsicles.
Okay.
Lion Kingdom popsicles are here. And she just loved like her little popsicle access. And alcohol is included as well as specialty coffees and things like that. The food was unreal. They do have offerings, like typically the way club level lounges work is they have some offerings from their restaurants too. So you get,
Is a huge game at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Like Sanaa,
yeah,
Boma, some of these places are like renowned across all of Disney property.
amazing food. Like I was blown away by some of the options. The Boma sticky buns, when those showed up, I was like, we've won. We've won Disney World. We can go home happy. So we played in the pool and we hung out in the club lounge. And that's what we did for 2 days. And it was awesome. So that was a great way to end the trip, kind of, again, slowly. You're not doing the chaos from cruise right to airport with really littles, which we are going to be doing in December. And I'm already bracing myself for it
Sure.
because I liked having the day to like repack our bags in the room and that type of thing to just before you hop on a plane. But we're in Fort Lauderdale, so it feels a little more reasonable to do that. With Port Canaveral, I just would so advise people give yourself that resort day before you fly out if you can.
What did you think of the quality of the pool at Animal Kingdom?
Oh, it's one of my favorites. I love this pool specifically for preschoolers at Jumbo House and at Kidani because it's zero entry. It has a slide that's thrilling enough, but not going to terrify a 3, 4, 5 year old.
Yeah.
You want more thrills? Go to Kidani. They have a huge slide. You want less thrills? Go to Kidani. They have a tiny toddler slide. Like amazing pool space. You have your frozen pog juice nearby. You have areas of the pool deck that have a bit more shade. You have loungers outside the playground. Like it's just a really thoughtfully designed space.
So I've wondered about this with the Savannah View rooms because those are
Yeah.
highly priced, right?
Yes.
How much time did you actually spend on your balcony looking at Savannah View?
Not a ton, right? Like this upgrade, that's what was available.
Yeah.
But had there been a resort view club level, I probably would have gone for that, to be honest. But it is a really cool moment when you walk in and you're
Sure.
just like, oh my gosh, there's drafts. The other thing Lucas mentioned about liking the Savannah view is it feels private because you're facing the Savannah.
Yeah.
So even at one point, he's changing and he realizes that the curtains are open and he's like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
trees and drafts. Like, it's okay. But, a resort view room, that's not going to be how that goes. So he did appreciate also like the dynamic of it feels like we're in kind of a wilderness escape. Would we pay $300 a night more for it? Probably not at this point in time. At some points, maybe. If we didn't have the club level lounge, that would have been a nice place as well to kind of reset. But we were kind of like, yeah, we used it, but not for hours.
Yeah, I just think that with that particular resort, there are so many good common level
Yeah,
Savannah viewing spots, close
yeah,
to the pool, on the opposite side where the pool isn't. Like, there's just so much to go and see anyway that to get the most out of an Animal Kingdom resort stay, you don't have to commit to a Savannah view. That is
no.
always the dream, but it's not a necessity.
It's not a necessity. And I will say we also used Simba's Clubhouse, which we haven't used before, which is like a kids game craft area. It's not a drop-off program, but it was perfect when the pool closed for lightning at one point. And we just popped over there and we painted some pottery. And like what a
Yeah.
fun take home for like I think it was $7. And Abby got to bring home this tiger that she painted at Animal Kingdom Lodge when she got kicked out of the pool because of lightning, right? And then by the time we were done, pool was back open. So,
Yeah, that is super cool. So anything else that you would share about the cruise itself or about Animal Kingdom Lodge, just as kind of the culmination of your vacation?
this was awesome. I will say, because when you do it back to back, you get a really felt sense for each one. And I will say, man, what a difference in terms of ease of going with the flow of cruises. And all three of us, Quinn didn't have any input yet, but all three of us did say cruise over parks, cruise over parks.
Yeah, you sent me that, and it broke my heart because I'm not sure that I'm gonna
You're
ever
not
be in
there
that place.
yet. You're treading
No,
dangerous waters because you're bringing your girls on a cruise. What if they're cruise over parks?
that would be a major, major surprise. Maybe I might see that for my daughter Taylor. For my daughter Courtney, I don't think there's any way.
There's no chance. Okay,
No
well, report
chance.
back.
Yeah,
Report
I'm
back.
gonna have to. All right. So as we end this episode, we're gonna go back to our tried and true on a trip
Yeah.
report, and that is our rapid fire questions. We're gonna do a repeat of what we got last time because I want to know again what was the difference parks to
Yeah.
being on the fantasy that really kind of led to this place of we're parks or we're cruise over parks. So best bite.
That would be, I didn't even mention that we also did Palo brunch. That was our date. Me and Lucas was Palo brunch on our last sea day. Um, two Palos, I know.
Two palos.
There was some splurging this trip. And the Parmesan crusted chicken at Palo brunch. No question. Amazing.
Wow, and that's a hard get on a fantasy or on any cruise as a
Four
Palo
night.
lunch. So
Yeah.
the fact that you scored that was a win.
That was a huge win. That was a huge win. I was booking for clients on the Treasure who were also silver last night, actually. And they didn't want Palo brunch, but naturally I wanted to see if it was available and book it so they can decide later. And looked and she was booked for
Yeah,
both of the offering days. So it was a bit of luck as silver members, but we enjoyed Palo brunch a lot.
all right. Best adult moment.
Oh yes. Probably sitting at the Meridian, like the outdoor area before Palo brunch. We ordered, a mimosa and we're just chatting about kind of like, I am entering into a new decade with this birthday. So we were chatting about like, where do we want to be in 10 years as a family?
Yeah,
Like, what are our personal goals? What are our goals together? Like, I love that kind of, we have time to slow down and have deep conversation as a family moment.
that's awesome. All
Yeah.
right, best kid moment.
Best kid moment. Um, I'm gonna go with, it's interesting. Like the first thing that popped into my head was seeing Abby's face going down the Mickey slide. Oh,
Oh yeah,
but what I wanted to say was seeing her at Bippity Boppity Boutique. So I think it's probably a combination of both of those because part of me probably says it should be Bippity Boppity Boutique, and it was great. But if I'm being honest, the first thing that popped into my head was seeing her face on that slide.
kind of leveling up in the big girl
Yeah,
phase, right?
exactly, exactly.
All right, best surprise on the fantasy.
Best surprise was Abby's bravery with water. Like she's never put her face under. Like that's a thing for her where she's like, mm-mm, not happening. At Lookout on the pool, which I'm like, oh, do we have to learn to put our face under on a cruise ship pool? But okay, I'll go with it. And she's feeling real brave and like trying to show she can go underwater now. And just like the things on trips that inspire your kids to learn
Yeah,
and grow and try new things. Because like she sees other kids doing it, she went for it, right?
that's awesome. Um, kind of best new cruise experience because cruises can be relatively
Yeah.
predictable, right? But what was your best new experience on the fantasy?
Karaoke. Like that's a whole new way for us to do the boat as a family, right?
Yeah,
Is
and courageous young lady for sure.
going up there. Yep.
All right. And so as you think about cruises future forward, besides getting on a different ship, because we know you have the kind of goal of being on all of them.
I want to be on all of them. I
And
do.
so, but from aside from that being the goal, what's still on the list to do? What is still
Sure.
out there that you're going, yep, I need to, irregardless of ship or maybe something on a specific ship?
Okay. I feel like you're gonna roll your eyes, but I want to try concierge at some point. I feel like also after the club level experience, it was dangerous waters because now I'm like, oh, that would be nice. But I'm not saying it has to be now because I think that's a one time get for us. Or certainly it should be. Maybe it's dangerous to try
I was
concierge.
going to say, maybe it's equally as dangerous as trying club level, right? Because it resets the threshold.
This is true. But that is something that's on my radar. And also different itineraries. That's something for me where I'm intrigued by longer sailings because I feel
Yep.
like I very much scratched the surface of this ship. Like I would love a 7 night experience at some point to really like get to know a boat again more. Like, yes, I want to try all of them, but I also want to know each ship in detail. So
That
that's
is fantastic. So more to come. Future
more to
trip
come.
reports on tap as we think about this. Jenna, thank you again so much for sharing your fantasy side of your trip, the Animal
Yeah.
Kingdom splurge, a little bit of surprise there. That is fantastic. And so for another week, we're just going to remind folks we love the support. Definitely, hit us up, leave comments, like, subscribe, all the stuff. Jenna, we're on the socials. I know we've got with a trip report, there's not a lot of time for putting out content, but there's going to be content to
We're
come.
getting there.
And so, Jenna, for another week, let's remind our listeners.
Adventure is out there. Bye, everyone.